You are now listening to the Lasting Legacy Podcast.
Cool. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is another episode of the Lasting Legacy Podcast. Today, we have a very special guest on. We have DeryktheDesigner. He's the host of the Street Champs Podcast. What up, Derek?
Yo, what's up, guys? Hell yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, dude. We were super excited to have you on.
For sure.
You're like the Joe Rogan of Pueblo now, or
100%. I'd see it's 2 seconds in and I said 100%. My bad.
Yeah.
I need to make merch that says 100%, but definitely the Joe Rogan of Pueblo podcasting.
Damn.
For
yeah.
sure.
Hell yeah. I appreciate that, guys. Fucking, and I won't even take that. I feel like fucking it's all starting out and we're all a team, so we're all going to be the next Joe Rogans of the fucking Colorado,
Yeah. Hopefully.
Like
yeah, hopefully. We'll get past the growing pains in the beginning. I mean, what were some of those growing pains for you? I mean, I'm sure you're still overcoming stuff all the time, but like what were some of those big growing pains in the beginning?
For sure. So for like the people that don't really know Street Champs, like Street Champs is like, I would say like a video editing platforms, video I'm fucking kind of drunk already, bro. Video interviewing platform where we don't really like have a set person we talk to. We just kind of talk to anyone. Well, it's not just me. I got to shout out Rick G. I got to shout out Daniel Ridgway and Winston for sure. Delilah, you too. So I think some of the growing pains were like where is the limit? Like where the fuck?
Like how far can you push?
Yeah, how
things?
far do you go before like it's too far?
What is too far? What does too far look like?
I think too far goes into the realm when you're like, this isn't positive anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not teaching anyone anything. This is just kind of
You're chasing views. And,
detrimental to society and shit like that,
No, of course, yeah.
clout chasing or something?
Yeah, clout chasing for sure.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're anything like that. I mean, your podcast, it's like, yeah. So, well, yeah, I don't know. Do you want to tell people like when you started Street Champs and what gave you that idea on how to start it and everything? Where'd you get the name? I'm curious about the name Street Champs.
Hell yeah. So Street Champs, I've only been doing it for like 2.5 months now, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's new,
glow up for sure.
But I see so many people. Yeah, you've had so many people on that I've known, and I'm like, damn, like Pueblo's too small. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Fucking. So I got fired from my job because I was gonna be my boss wasn't gonna tell the employees that this girl had COVID, and I was like, nah, fuck that. Like, and he told me, he was like, don't tell anyone. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna tell everyone.
Yeah.
Because that's not right, yo. Like,
why wouldn't
people
you
could die?
That? Yeah, no.
Yeah, people could die.
It's a for real issue.
Yeah. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna tell everyone. So I got fired.
Was it the Delta variant?
No,
was it the Omicron?
No, I think it was the Omarion.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm sorry. Keep going.
But so I got fired for that, and I had all this time on my hands. I was like already hanging out with all these musicians. So at first I wanted to edit their music videos because I have a degree in graphic design.
It sounds terrible.
It sounds so tedious. It is so tedious, and getting into it was awful. I fucking hated it. But I really liked talking to the artist, so I was like, damn, I'm just gonna record this shit instead of doing the music videos because it's way easier, honestly. And then the artist just really started to like it. Like artists started to hit me up like I want to talk to you in front of your shitty. My first two or three episodes were like shitty ass little fabric with a little poster board, bro, on the wall. And I wasn't very like at first I was stoked on it, but now looking back, I'm like, oh my god,
it's the growth. It's the growth. Like there's beauty in the growth and evolution of what you do from the ground up.
Yeah, for sure. But my first interview was Daniel Ridgway. And he's a lo-fi artist here in town.
Shout out Daniel Ridgway.
Facts. But I was like, dude, I don't have a name yet, but I want to interview you. I don't like, will you give me the interview without having an official name for this platform? And he's like, hell yeah. And he gave me the name Facts Street because like, yo, I'm just spitting facts, like at all times.
Mm-hmm.
But I stayed up with it, and I started making the logo, like the street signs or whatever, and because all the design is done by me, all the editing and shit is done by me.
You're like a one-man show, right?
Nah, I mean, definitely not a one-man show.
In the sense of like editing, or you have other people that are helping you edit and everything?
Yeah, post-production for sure. It's all it's all me
that's what I mean.
At this point. And, I like it like that because I'm not trying to embarrass anyone. I'm not trying to get the limelight for myself. I'm not trying to, like
expose anyone.
Yeah, expose anyone. I'm not, like, it's all in the sense of putting a light where it needs to be shown on people that deserve it.
Of course, like people who grind, who may not have a platform or a voice to speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of what I got from it.
Yeah. So Daniel Ridgway gave me Fact Street, and I stayed up with it, and I thought Street Champs was just like kind of rolled off the tongue.
It does.
And that's kind of where the Street Champs was born.
It does. I like the name. I was like, it was kind of funny because I'm an accountant, and you're like, hey, do you want to be on Street Champs podcast? And I was like, I don't know if the streets want me on the Street Champs podcast.
Brad is for the streets. Don't get it twisted. Brad is definitely for the streets, but
I see it in you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I grew up in a Pueblo West golf course, so I'm pretty.
No big deal.
Yeah, no.
Hell yeah.
It's a public golf course, so it's not that special.
Everyone's kind of a street champ, like.
Yeah.
Like if people got their money right, like you wouldn't need to be a fucking quote unquote street champ. You could be a fucking legit business owner.
Exactly.
And it just takes a little bit of knowledge that you're afraid to ask.
Always.
Most people are scared to ask the accountant.
That is 100%. People are afraid to ask anything.
Yeah.
They don't want to seem dumb, but I got to where I was by asking questions, so I didn't make those mistakes. And I feel like more people need to ask.
Facts.
100%.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I ask. I always am questioning everything. I feel like if I lived in like 1980, I'd be like have such a terrible life if I didn't have Google.
For sure.
Like anytime something comes up, I like just deep dive into it for 10 minutes and I waste so much time, but you learn so much random stuff, and then it just comes out in like the most random times. You're like, oh, I'm so glad I Googled that 5 years ago on a bus or something. You know what I mean?
Comes out of nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So
with the show, you built the logo, you found the name, you started getting a line of people to want to be on the show, and then fast forward, kind of where are we now?
So like I think where are we now is damn, you kind of just skipped a bunch.
Right. Oh yeah, I was just like
back up, David. Back
it up. Where are we going?
All right.
Where are we going?
All right. So like from the beginning, like from like the shitty ass backdrop or whatever.
Yeah.
I think what really helps any business or podcast or any like platform grow is connections.
Always.
Like
networking is key.
Yeah, like Tyler Schoen said, like contacts equal contracts.
Yep.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even have the backdrops if I wasn't like just talkative and talking to people.
Didn't bring it up.
Yeah, the backdrops were free. Shout out you. I don't want to say your name. Don't want to get you fired, but it's just so going from there. I smoked a joint before this, so I'm kind of spacey, but
they do a lot cooler things on the Street Champs podcast than we do here.
I know. David won't even drink a coffee.
Yeah. No, I appreciate like the professional side of this too. This is sick. Freaking shout out you guys for sure.
Heck yeah.
But going from there, I think just growing a team is kind of what built us up, because like each share, when one person shares something, it gets you like 10 potential views, and like the more people that are invested in your brand or your podcast or your videos, like
they add up.
Yeah, like I have 4 people typically in one show, so like it's typically hopefully 4 shares, and like hopefully they have people that love them. If you don't, I'm sorry. But, you know, like they'll share it too.
You use their reach. And like they have, let's say, you know, 400 friends on Facebook or whatever. And then this person has a totally 400 from another place, you know, previous jobs, everybody follows you. And so when you share, other people are like, whoa, what in the world? You know, like, let's check it out. So people you wouldn't be able to reach by yourself, you're able to touch now and at least get it in front of people that you would have never even had a way to reach.
Yeah,
essentially.
Exactly.
Times 4.
Yeah.
Or however many people, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like your growth has been pretty good. Like
it's to the moon, literally.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube is like not an easy platform to grow for sure. I feel like how many followers do you have or subscribers do you have on YouTube now? 200, something close to there.
No, God, you know, I don't even want to say it. It's not even a lot. It's not even anything to be proud of, but it's about like 180.
I mean, that's a lot because it started from nothing.
Nothing, yeah.
To be honest, like that's a lot. YouTube's really one of the hardest places to grow from my experience.
For organic growth, YouTube is like nearly impossible unless you're driving traffic from other platforms. But I feel like that is your main platform. Like, yeah, you have the Instagram that kind of like gets people interested and it tells you that the show is ready. But for me, I'm not going to go listen to a podcast on Spotify or Google or Apple or anything like where we still put it all out there on those platforms, but I would prefer to consume from YouTube, like, and have the visual and audio stimulation.
Totally, yeah. I mostly enjoy my podcast on YouTube because I want to see how we interact. You know, like I want to see my facial expressions when I talk to you, and like I want to see me look at you in the eyes and shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a whole it's like a whole second like story when you can watch a podcast for sure. I watch like I'm a loser, so I watch like a lot of finance podcasts and stuff that.
Like which ones?
Like the Money Guy Show is the one I've been like watch religiously all the time. They a lot of times they have like visuals and like graphs and charts and stuff like that. So I kind of naturally always just watch podcasts. And sometimes you listen to podcasts and you get like a totally different feel from listening to it versus watching it. So I think having a video with your podcast is like you have to have it. Yeah,
it's mandatory.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. And you get to show your cat off. So you honestly wouldn't see the cat on Apple.
I don't think I would have as many followers and lovers of my shit if I didn't have my cat.
Like, I just wait for him to like mess up the flow because people are just so thrown off by it.
I know.
She's actually a girl.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Her name is Zizi. She's a girl.
Okay.
You know,
well, her.
Don't assume her gender.
I definitely
Cat
assumed
David.
I should have asked.
Yeah, it's 2021. Don't assume
You're right. Anyway, back to the growth and all that. Like, did you ever think it would be where it's at today? If I would have told you 2 months ago when you started this,
dude, dead ass, no. Like, I truly thought it was just gonna be like me and the homies. You know, like I thought it was just gonna be me and my homie across the table just bullshitting, just like talking about
documenting stories,
their music and stuff, like just my friends' music and stuff. But now like people that I've never even talked to in my life, you know, they're not I'm not getting like hit up by like fucking Lil Wayne and fucking Drake, but
no, of course
I'm getting, you know, Colorado's biggest names.
But who's to say, like, once you get to somewhere near the top, who's to say that is unrealistic? I mean, that is pretty crazy, but it could happen, you know, like between meeting all these connections and everything like that, someone could be like, oh yeah, my homie, you know, does X, Y, and Z for Drake. You know, we might be able to like at least have you talk to him or whatever, you know, like it's crazy how there's nothing that's unrealistic anymore.
Totally.
You know, the world is your oyster.
Social media made it like so possible to do anything. Like, just take one person in, you know, everyone runs together. Like if I were to get like one tax client that's like an NFL player, you know what I mean? Like that'll probably lead to 10 NFL
all
tax clients or something, you know what I mean? And it's kind of cool, like especially you, like you're heavy into like the music side of it for sure. Like you never know. Be on Air Drake doing a podcast one day. That would be really crazy.
Yeah, you do your thing, and then by that you've met, you know, like Demain. Demain does his thing, you know, and like from there you have like other artists and stuff like that, and you meet like other photographers, and like we could be connected and you wouldn't even know it, you know, like Kenny G is connected like heavily and you wouldn't even know it because he doesn't talk about it and like he doesn't show that part off. But like it's not unrealistic to be able to be in a boardroom with somebody from Atlantic Records or, you know, anything like that. Like it's very possible. It's just you just keep your head down, keep grinding, and what's meant to be will definitely come.
Hell yeah. You mentioned Demain. We actually are definitely going to be working together in the future. Demain just signed his first artist to his, because Demain owns a recording studio here in town.
The Lake House?
Yeah, the Lake House. No, it actually changed to Out the Box.
Oh, nice. Did that?
Out the Box,
cool.
yeah.
I like that name better.
So, yeah, I definitely want to work with Demain more. And that's just, the collaboration just builds each brand.
You guys are in the same market, but like not competitions at all. You're never going, I'm not going to say you're never going to sign an artist.
Oh no, we're definitely going
to. You know what I mean? But all that stuff in the works, but like you're not going to take business from him. And like it's a collaborative effort, and you build upon that team that you were talking about. And I feel like team structure is huge.
For sure.
Everybody's got their part.
No, and Street Champs is definitely going to sign artists. Like I'm already working with some artists. I don't want to say anything for sure.
No, of course.
But there's some artists in town that they have the talent, the drive, and everything you need, the personality. But the thing they're lacking is the financial. They don't have the microphone. They don't have the computer. They don't have the fucking. They don't have like a room that's quiet enough to record in, because their family is fucking going crazy. So like I want to offer that to people.
A space.
Exactly.
Okay, that's nice.
And it's already in the works. I don't want to say any names or anything, but like Street Champs isn't just interviews or whatever. It's not just about itself either. It's like we're gonna give back. Hopefully, like Street Champs is gonna give back to like everything. Like Pueblo needs love, and Pueblo needs to support itself, and there needs to be successful stories in Pueblo, and they need to be shown off.
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
You're giving them a voice, which was the original mission, was to give people that voice.
Exactly.
You're just expanding on how you're giving that voice out.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Voice and opportunity at that
Pueblo's
point.
Pueblo's been so far behind for years, and it's like that's one like common message I hear with like a lot of people that are like 20s, 30s is like, I feel like we're tired of people being like, oh, Pueblo sucks, Pueblo this, but like, dude, Pueblo, like if Pueblo sucks, you suck. That's the problem. Like, because you could live in Pueblo, you could live in Springs, you could live in Alabama, wherever you live. If it sucks, you suck. That's basically what it comes down to.
Or
and look where you are.
With sucking. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, look where we're all at. We're all in Pueblo right now.
And it's like, especially with like social media and with everything like these days, like you can be in Pueblo, but you can work with anyone in the whole world. Like,
of course,
you've went to LA and collabed with people. You know what I mean? I have tax clients literally across the whole entire map. Like you can do a podcast with anybody in the whole world. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's it's like,
I feel like we were groomed from the very beginning. I just had this conversation with somebody, and we're so groomed that anything that comes out of this town specifically, and I don't want to make this podcast about this town, but we're showcasing a lot of people from here first, for sure.
No, hometown, mad love.
Yeah.
I represent this shit.
But like you said, like you don't want to think small, you want to think bigger. Like what's unrealistic? Like, but I was saying we've been groomed since the beginning because, okay, let's say we're going to go school shopping, right? Oh, you got your stuff from the mall? Oh, we went to Denver. Like you were groomed from the beginning to think like all the good stuff or anything quality is outside of this town. And something that small like sticks with you. Like, oh man, we can go out to eat here, but we went out to eat for prom in Springs. We went and did X, Y, and Z up north. And people think that they need to travel or do business with people up north in order to get a higher quality when they have amazing quality down here who are probably more talented.
Facts.
And for me to even go to Denver, it's cheaper for you to hire me with my travel fees to go to Denver to shoot whatever you want than it is for you to hire a local Denver media company to do the exact same thing. And that's what people don't realize either. So we kind of have the ball in our court at that point. But yeah, I don't.
Pueblo's like for me, for my business, like it's great because like I can get clients in Denver, charge them half rates of what Denver CPAs are charging them, charge them half rates, and it's still double what like Pueblo rates are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, you're good, dude. But yeah, it's like it's just crazy. Like I don't know why everyone just thinks Pueblo's so trash.
Yeah, and I mean, everywhere's got issues, so it's not just here for sure. So what are some of your, we're big on goals. We talked about it in our second episode, which will be airing soon, but we're pretty big on goals and setting goals. So when people look at them, it's short, medium, and long term. So what are some of your short, medium, and long term goals? I mean, you've kind of touched on the long term, but
for sure. No, and like, you know, I'm pretty sensitive about like sharing all my goals,
of course,
because I know these competitors, like, you know, like we're all friends here, but like the people that make popular TV shows, they're friends with the other executives, but they know it's fucking business at the end of the day. Like people only have two set of eyes and two set of ears. They can only watch one podcast at a time.
Yeah.
They can only watch one show at a time, you know? So like for my short-term goals, I want to branch out and get, yo, that car's going crazy outside.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah.
It's probably my Prius. But for my short-term goals, I want to put out more content rapidly. Damn, fuck. How do you silence an iPhone?
Oh, you flip the switch on the left-hand side.
That's how you silence it?
You didn't know that?
No, I literally didn't.
Yeah, flip that switch.
When did you get your
iPhone?
iPhone?
Vibrate in your hand?
Very recently.
Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah,
I was Team Android up until very recently.
Oh, welcome to the dark side, baby.
Yo,
there's a little switch right there.
This was a birthday gift from my mom. Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Damn, for Christmas I'm gonna buy you a case.
Yeah, my mom's probably gonna give me like some socks and like a gift card.
But so for my short-term goals, I want to get a David Took It case.
Perfect.
No,
that's a good idea.
But dead ass, I want to get out more content every single day. I want to put out a video 7 days a week.
That would be cool.
It's not
something different
something different every single day.
That's awesome.
And that's a short-term goal where I know I'm going to do that within 2022 start.
Nice.
It's going to be a video every single day on Street Champs.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, but it's not just going to be me and like I guess like shorter to like medium goals. We're going to get more people involved in Street Champs. You know,
build that team.
Exactly.
I was going to say that's the only way you can put out content that much. Honestly.
Exactly. It's not just always going to be you know, something that I'm reluctant to do is name a show like the Derek show, the David show, the DOS show.
Yeah.
Because that
limits you.
Yeah, exactly. That cuts out any single person that wants to feel included in the show. Like a person's not going to want to put in 1,000% effort into the DOS show because they're not DOS.
Yeah. That reminds me, the DOS show is premiering. No, I'm just kidding.
But you know what?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's funny when we were talking about naming this show. That's exactly what we said. Where like everyone says like a bunch of my podcasts are like the Dave Ramsey show, the show.
We sat on the idea for like a couple of weeks. I was like, we need a name. We knew it was going to be business, but we didn't know of a name, and we kept going through. And I was like, well, what are the top business podcasts? And it was a name of the Dave Ramsey show. It was like insert name show after.
Yeah.
We
the
did not want to be that.
Lasting Legacy is fire, bro. Like when you think business, you're like, this is for my kids. This is for my kids. Yeah,
exactly.
Like what Kanye says.
Yeah.
Like fucking.
It's bigger than me. It's bigger than him. It's bigger than the companies that we represent and we've built.
Yeah.
It's lasting. It's long. You know, that's what you want to be remembered for. You know.
Exactly.
It's integrity driven. You know.
I love it. I love the name, and I'm so thankful that I'm the first guest.
Hell yeah.
Like I low key in my brain was like, damn. Hopefully they asked me to be on this.
Yeah.
Because like I would love to be on this, bro. Like when I was getting ready for this shit, I was like I never felt, you know, I have people on my platform every single day, but I never felt this way where I was like, yo, I'm going to someone else's shit. Like, what are they gonna ask me? Like, what do I, like you said, what do I do with my hands, bro? Like.
No, that shit's awesome. It's good to be on the other side of things too. Like I tell people, oh yeah, you know, you'll be fine for a photo shoot. You'll be fine. You know, don't worry about it. I got you. But on the other end, like I'm getting ready for a photo shoot, and I'm like, oh God, where do I look? Like everything goes out the window. Everything you've ever you've ever learned, or your instinct will just.
You're gonna learn
over.
today.
Yeah. Well, like one of the reasons, like where I've wanted to start a podcast for like a long time. Like,
you told me that. when I was doing research on you, you know, and that's one thing I regret. I didn't ask you about it.
Yeah.
I saw your post from on Instagram like fucking 3 years ago.
Yeah, I've always wanted to like post some like create a podcast or something like that. I had a mic before all this, but I just was never really like very technically savvy on how to do it or anything. But what I noticed is like when I went on the Street Champs, I was like so nervous doing it, you know, and I was like, in my head I was like, I feel like that's not really like, I didn't portray like myself very well because I was like kind of like really nervous, you know, and you didn't really get to like see like a real genuine side of Brad, you know.
Totally.
And so I was kind of getting scared, and when I was thinking, I was like, you know, if we had our own podcast, it gives me like more content to put out to like show my personality a little bit more. And so that was kind of like
relaxed state.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
It's kind of like definitely something I was
like we do with
thinking.
Tax Tuesday and some of those other funny posts, like
yeah. And so yeah, like street like and watching like when I went to do Street Champs and like the grind that you were doing like right away too.
Like
and
right
like
out the gate.
Yeah, you're like, I don't know, I sold my crypto and I bought everything I needed and I just said fuck it, like let's just start a podcast, you know. And it's like legit, like all your mics are legit, like its setup's nice, like you have a very consistent posting on Instagram, you have very consistent like
it's not
show notes and YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's so professional. And in my head, you know, I was just like, you know, Brad, you've been wanting to do this for 4 years, like why are you dragging your feet? Like look at this dude, like he's just out of the gate just killing it, like he can't throw some shit together. So, you know, it was definitely like being on Street Champs was definitely like what led me to want to start this. And then it helps that I know David, who like does all the video and editing and audio and stuff. Yeah. So that was very helpful for me.
You figure out all the other stuff, and then I'm gonna buy an iMac with Final Cut on it, and I'm gonna have you show me how to.
I'm gonna do what I do best. I'm gonna try to buy my way, and you're gonna help me.
Exactly. And the first thing I told him when I came in here, I was like, first things first, I'm not editing this.
Yeah.
And he was like, deal.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But you know, like we talked off camera, like in a good podcast, it's just a good conversation. Like. There's no editing done. Like I feel like this so far, we don't have to edit shit out. This is all has been great conversation.
It's organic.
And that's what you want. You want a guest that's comfortable expressing themselves and talking, asking questions, and sharing about themselves. Like that's all you could ask for. And sometimes you don't get that, and sometimes you do. And
that's
yeah.
Have you had any guests on yours? Like obviously, I feel like you probably had some that are like easier to talk to and some that are more difficult.
Oh yeah.
Have you had any where you're just like, this one's like, this is kind of rough?
Yeah, this accountant he had on there one time.
Yeah.
Bro, this guy Doss though. Yo,
he kept talking about Roth IRAs. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
No.
Who cares?
But fucking really though, you know, I think the most unconversational people, but the people I love having on, are musicians. You know, like they're so introspective and like introverted. They think that people understand them just from their vibes, but no, like you have to let people hear it and see it like how you are as a person, you know. Like they think that their music speaks for itself, but I'm sorry, like I'm not getting, like I said, I'm not getting the Drakes and Lil Waynes. Like your music isn't big enough there. Like people want to see how this X, Y, and Z are as a person behind the scenes, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's why
everything's up front.
Yeah, that's why the long platforms, the hour and a half, 2 hours, are great, because you can really see how someone is.
Yeah.
After
they let those walls down.
Yeah, just sitting down for an hour and a half, because you can put up a front, but you can't put it up for forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
For that long.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool too, because with Street Champs, like you guys, you get to showcase both of them, because now you have like the interviews with the artists, but then you also are doing like the songs or what exactly you're calling it something.
I call it the Street Champs concerts.
There you go. Yeah. So you're doing like the Street Champs concerts. So it's kind of cool because you get to mesh both sides of the artist, you know. So you do get to see both sides, because I'm the opposite of like artistic or creative, you know what I mean? I'm just like a numbers guy. And so
that's why we're a good team, because I'm not.
It's like the total opposite.
Shout out Winston's my numbers guy, bro.
That's
he'll fucking get behind the computer and like look at the analytics, and like I don't give a fuck. Like
he's a very behind the scenes guy. I mean, I know why, but he's a very behind the scenes guy.
Yeah,
and he's a cool ass dude, and it's super super intelligent.
Yeah,
So he wasn't there when I went.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But, you know, he's there. You know, he's there for the shows. Like, he's a very important show component.
Mm-hmm.
The shows wouldn't be anything without him, for sure.
His 9 to 5 just kind of limits what he can do.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody knows that, but yeah. I won't say what he does but yeah.
Yeah, he's an assassin.
That's good. That's
for the Russian mafia.
I got to imagine that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Kind of looks Slav.
His name's DJ Vlad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That
Wears
makes
a lot of
sense.
Adidas tracksuits. But yeah.
Oh, I got some flip flops for him on here. Them Adidas stripes all day.
I mean, so I guess what would be your advice to anybody else out there who is looking to start, let's say, a podcast or a channel, or just start creating in general? What would you advise them to do?
For sure. I mean, first thing I'd advise is sign to Street Champs. No, I'm
you're good. Yeah,
sign to Street. Yeah. No, but that's like no. What you want to really do is build up your own channel. You don't want to. Where the money is in my head. I'm new at this, but where the money is in my head is where the video and audio lies for the rest of eternity. Mm-hmm. Like, whose platform is this gonna be at for the next 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
And for right now, all my audio and video belongs to me.
True.
And I'm not running up the views, but my highest video on fucking December 13th or 14th or whatever it is 1.5K, and I'm proud as fuck about that.
It's hard. It's hard to hit organically.
Yeah.
1.5K with less than 200 followers or subscribers. Yeah,
Facts.
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, from a business side, how can you convert those views into subscribers or convert those into sales? Like, I did see the merch drop, which is dope.
And
or you even focused on that.
Man.
There's so many areas.
Let's get into the weeds here.
Yeah.
So the merch drop.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like there's different types of supporters and anything. Let me take a drink before I just fucking shit on the whole industry.
I'm ready for it. I'm here for it, man.
There's different types of supporters. There's supporters that will like your photos. There's supporters that will watch your videos. There's supporters that will share your videos. And there's like supporters that will buy your shit. Like, the supporters that will buy your shit are like 0.00001% of the people that are watching your shit.
True.
Mm-hmm. Like, the money, I don't want to get it twisted. There is literally minimal profit being made on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But if you believe in yourself and your idea at any point,
money will come.
And
it always does.
I was listening to this Russ interview the other day. He was saying that you shouldn't make music to make money. You should make money to make music. I'm not making podcasts to make money. I'm making money to make podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I love this content. I love this long form conversations. I love long-winded I love when people
passion
I love when people say I'm wrong. Like, yeah, I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong. Like,
exactly.
I wanna get emotional,
mm-hmm.
and then I want to see it in a month and be like, damn, I'm a dumbass. But I love it. I love the growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay. And that's just.
No, that's huge.
Yeah.
I one of my friends, he talked to I don't know if you've ever seen the Diesel Brothers on like Discovery Channel, but they give away trucks and everything like that. They have a really big social media, and that's kind of what they started growing on, was like giving away trucks. So this is kind of like referring back to how you're saying like not a lot of people will buy your stuff. He basically told my friend, like, take how many subscribers you have and do like between like 5 to 10%. That's how many people will actually buy something.
I wouldn't even say that at all.
I think I don't know. It's hard to say because
that's why I haven't went down the rabbit hole of merch.
I don't know how it works. Yeah, like I imagine like once you hit like a certain threshold, 5% is probably easier to hit. Mm-hmm. But I feel like if you're under like I would say if you're under like 10,000 followers on anything, like 5%, that's a lot of people. I don't think you'd hit 5%. But like these guys are talking like they have like hundreds of thousands, millions of subscribers, you know? So I think it's kind of like everything, like exponentially that curve will grow. Like it's flat. Like, yeah, you sell like 1 t-shirt, 2 t-shirts, but then all of a sudden like you're going to be selling like 20 shirts or something.
I don't want to get it twisted either that any kind of support, yo, it's appreciated. Yo, if you like it, even if you don't
share, thanks.
Yeah. If you don't watch it and you just like it, thank you.
Yeah.
That helps so much.
If you don't watch it and you buy a t-shirt, thank you.
Yeah.
Like.
And there are some people who are just wholehearted supporters like that, for sure. Yeah. You know, you know the ones who are always like tagging you, sharing you, posting stories, you know, like all that stuff. And like when you're posting content, you know, they're the first ones in there, you know, they earn that top fan badge, you know, on a business account. And those are the ones that really carry your business for you. But I mean, going back to the merch thing, like I know very few people in town who are very successful with merch, and I applaud them all the time because people ask me for the David Took It wear, the Took It fitness, all that stuff, and I'm like, man, like it is so low on my priority of things to do, and it is like a nightmare for me to find a good quality blank that I like, somewhere that can fulfill the order and change designs and all that stuff. Like it's not beneficial to me. Like I feel like at the end of the day, if I were to sell a t-shirt for $25, I would probably rather not have that $25.
You're not even gonna make that much money.
I don't even want it
on $25, but
like people are trying to buy. I mean, like no knock, you know, my first design, it's not even out yet. I don't think I'm gonna put it out. The design I put it on the internet. It was kind of a warm up. Like I wanted to see if people were behind it.
Yeah,
and
you're testing the market.
And if I'm being honest, you know, I got a few people, but people weren't behind it. If I would have got every single YouTube subscriber to hit me up for a shirt, I could have fucking quit my 9 to 5 for a month. Yeah. You know, but it's not the case.
Yeah.
But people want unique, exclusive limited merchandise, drops. And they want unique styles. So like a logo on a blank t-shirt is not going to cut it. People want, you know, like people want like I made this hoodie right here, bro. Like
I was looking at
that's crazy.
I made all that shit all by hand.
Yeah.
Like people want shit like this.
And cut and sew. Especially like your audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think you got to do it to your audience for sure. Like you're like, I'm sure your audience is like very creative people, you know, all the musicians and stuff like that. So like they definitely want that kind of stuff for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, going back to like collaborations and like everybody building up everybody in order to grow, like have you thought about, you know, and that's kind of what I wanted on this show too, is to like give people like advice or just make them think in a different light. But homie from the SoCo Drip Co., have you ever thought about doing a collab merch with them? Because they don't have merch, you don't have merch, but like if you guys were to come, they do have merch?
Yeah,
they do have merch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have
but
a t-shirt.
Like doing a collab drop with them, like collaborative efforts on the design and the execution, I feel like would push it even further. You know what I mean?
I mean, you know, I haven't thought exclusively with them because, you know, like I don't want to put any person in an interview and like that thing. Like that'd be like, yo, have you ever thought about doing a photo shoot with David Took It? Like I never talked about it with David Took It, you know?
Yeah. Oh, and I know you guys bring it up a lot, and like the photography like aspect comes up a lot in the podcast, and I feel like I was like, man, I wish I was there to defend like whatever was being said, you know, because most of the time it's just opinions and like people aren't educated on certain areas, but there's a certain reason why we do the things that we do, you know, like, but I was like, oh, you know, like I think the group collaboration in the beginning is huge, you know, like I thought about, I will not run a David Took It line, but I will do a David Took It DOS, you know, like line, or like a David Took It Street Champs, you know, merch, limited drops only, you know, like build the hype, do what Taco Bell does. They, you know, they bring a taco and then everybody's like, oh man, I love that taco. And then they're like, cool, forget that taco. Good luck getting it, you know, or they'll bring out a sauce, fries, whatever. And like Supreme does the same shit, you know, not saying we're going to push Supreme numbers, but like that would be cool with me, you know, like that would probably be the only way that I do it, is if it was a collaborative effort.
Totally. Yeah. You know, I agree, but the only thing that is limiting is, I feel like, is the designs. People don't want no cookie cutter shit.
No.
They want unique stuff. And
exactly.
It takes a great designer to put that shit together?
Time is huge. You know, time in Illustrator and all that stuff is huge.
That's the benefit of me, is like I'm an accountant. I just like work, like, you know, it's like so boring. Like mostly design stuff. Like I'll just slap this logo right here on something, and I'd be good to go. But when I was thinking like merch style, like I was gonna make like just T-shirts and just give them away, like just
free
put it on my advertising cost. You know what I mean? Like not even sell them, and just be like,
write it off as a loss.
Yeah, like here's a free T-shirt with your taxes or something. You know what I mean? And like that's like how I've envisioned merch. And also, I just want to wear it. Like, you're good. You always wear something that has your logo on it. I never wear it.
That's inspiring.
I try to for sure.
Shirt.
I don't know if I've ever seen him with something that doesn't say David took it on it once in my entire life.
Even his underwear say David took it, bro.
Dude, David took it. Underwear coming soon.
Nah, he's not wearing underwear because David took it.
The off in the night lingerie line. That would be fire. You know, but like realistically though, like if you were to go down that rabbit hole, like let's say you're like, I want Street Champs leggings. Who in the hell is gonna make your leggings?
Me.
That's what you're gonna hand sew it or like.
No, I'm gonna. I mean,
that's
obviously,
what I'm saying. Like it's hard.
I'll create the designs and the shapes, and then I'm gonna send it to a manufacturing house.
But, and then the downside with that is there's minimum lot orders. So then it's like, okay, well, you got to buy 500 leggings, dude. So you're going to get stuck with, 40 small leggings left because everybody who wears a small legging has already bought it.
Facts, yeah.
It's not squat proof, even though they advertise it as being squat proof. And now every girl's showing their butt when they're doing squats. There's so many, like,
definitely not
dead ends to it,
Suing you for your leggings ripping in the middle of the gym.
But, that's why you got to be, like,
diligent
with your investments. Like, I'm not gonna buy leggings. Like, T-shirts. Everyone will buy a T-shirt.
Everyone.
And like, I don't want to get it fucked up. Like, this is not a big platform. I'm talking about. Check out Street Champs anywhere you fucking watch any videos or listen to any music or anything. But like, this is all organic and this is all from love. People, like, this is, if you're on Street Champs, I fuck with you. This is no one that is just. I don't take any money for any interviews. I don't take any money for any recordings. I have to like rock with you. In general. So
genuinely, you have to like feel and want to portray their message and help them.
That's the way you do it with any business. You know what I mean? There's people who will be like, there's a lot of money in landscaping. I'm going to go make a landscaping company. But like after a couple years, you might make good money, but you're going to hate landscaping. Whether you're starting an accounting firm, whether you're starting a podcast, like a podcast is a business, and like you have to have the passion to do it because it's a lot of work. It's not going to be easy, and you're going to be grinding. So you have to be passionate about it. There's some days where you wake up and you're like, I don't want to do taxes today or whatever, but for the most part, it's going to be, you still have that passion.
The passion is what fuels.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's like, as far as the money goes, like, I was always a believer, like, I never chase money, Money will find you. If you just do something you're passionate about, you'll make enough money to be happy doing whatever you love to do. You can do that now. You couldn't do that 20 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the happiness is what a lot of people don't talk about within business. Like, you have to do what makes you happy, which is usually backed up by passion. But if you don't love what you do, you really shouldn't be doing it. Like, everybody, that's why, like, another reason in a big angle that I wanted to push on here is pushing people out of their 9-to-5s when it's time. I've seen so many people, live in the 9-to-5 life and they're super unhappy, but they grind super hard on the outside and they're just waiting to catch that break. So, I mean, I guess that's my next question for you is like, what would it take for Street Champs to be your full, like, only job priority and leaving the 9-to-5? What does that look like to you in your head?
For sure. I mean, like, as like, I guess I would classify myself as like a wantrepreneur,
Nice.
Like, I want that shit and it's coming to me and I envision that shit, but you cannot knock a 9-to-5 hustle. I'm earning money to invest in myself, like, yeah, I'm building these other businesses, but I'm giving, yeah, like it's like what do they say, like the 30-30-30 rule, like you give 30 to the government, 30 to your savings, and then 30 to your life, or some shit like that. You know, if I'm getting it wrong,
that equals 90 with a quick math on top of my head, so we're missing 10%.
No, yeah,
but
the 10%.
I think we get
goes to crypto.
Goes to crypto. Yeah,
yeah,
goes
100%,
to
10%
and Pokemon cards
and NFTs.
yeah, but you know, like the 30-30-30 rule, whatever it is, like you can't, like, I wouldn't be able to invest all this time and effort into my podcast if I didn't have a 9 to 5.
Of course.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
so that's what I'm saying. Is like, at what point do you substitute that 9 to 5 for just you? You know what I mean? Like, what does that look like? For me, it was like, I need to be making this much money per photo shoot to break it down, to break even to my 9 to 5. And I won't even think about it until I'm even close to that.
I don't even think that there's a specific number.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my 9 to 5 doesn't have to be something I hate. My 9 to 5 could be
True.
Podcast director and fucking whatever. You know, my 9 to 5 could be graphic designer. Like, you know, like there's so many avenues I could take that I wouldn't. I think I want a 9 to 5. Like, if I was doing this podcast shit every day, I'd burn myself out.
That's
you know,
true.
like
I
wanna.
It's moderation.
I want to learn things. I want to learn outside of just talking to people.
So So you have no
For
desire to, you know, leave a 9 to 5 and just pursue Derek Street Champs and, you know, everything.
I mean, yeah, I would. Like, who wouldn't say, like, yo, well, give me $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll fucking
do whatever.
Yeah, give me $1 million. I'll run Street Champs and I'll invest in shit. But realistically, my 9 to 5 introduces me to so many new people.
Okay.
That
so you're leveraging the 9 to 5.
Yeah, and like,
that's nice. Yeah.
Like
having the ability to do that.
Yeah, like I work in the marijuana industry. My 9 to 5 is in the marijuana industry, and there's just so many creatives in the marijuana industry, man. Like, if you're a musician, you probably smoke weed. You know.
Yeah.
So like
that's your target demographic.
Yeah, I'll probably run into you.
Yeah.
So like, and I do design. So like
everybody needs a logo.
Everybody needs a song cover or a logo or a music video. So, you know, I'm not dying to leave my 9 to 5. I'm dying to make it something that I love. You know, if you do something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Wholeheartedly.
And I love making art and making content, and I'll do it for anyone that's paying the right price.
Of course.
You know? Like, pay me for my passion.
Yeah, and your worth. For sure. And the years that you've put into that passion. Just because you could whip up a logo, let's say, in like 3 hours, doesn't mean that you expedited and like hurried and rushed it. It's all the years behind it that, you know, you learned the shortcuts on Illustrator. You learned all, you know, like how to get exactly what you're looking for quickly. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like, totally, but you know, like we were talking about like about an hour ago, like I'm Pueblo, Colorado till I fucking die, bro. I know people in Pueblo, Colorado aren't rocking with that 6-figure paycheck every fucking year. Yeah.
We have to be affordable as digital creators. Like, people need it and want it, but they can't afford it. Yeah. That's the fucking shit for most things in Pueblo. Yeah. So like, I'll get you your shit, but I'm gonna need my payment on the back end. Like, once I get you all your shit, we're gonna keep track of how many things I get you, and you know, don't be afraid to do some shit for free. Don't be afraid to be like, I'm gonna do this for free, but you know,
it all comes back.
Yeah, it all
always comes back.
Once we're gonna tell people to mention myself, and then we're gonna see how many people I get you.
Exactly. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, in the beginning, like coming from like another creative to a creative, like in the beginning, you almost have to show your worth by doing things for free. You know, you really just can't jump into the game and just start charging X, Y, and Z. Like, you have to, you know, like show your worth and like, you know, pretty much have some skin in the game eventually. Like, you have to pay for that mentorship. You have to pay, you know, if there was a dope graphic designer that you were like, man, I would love to just be a fly on the wall, you know, like, and just watch his creative flow, like, you would do that, you know. So sometimes you don't make money within your chasing your passion in the beginning, you know, like with you in accounting, I'm not too sure how that works, you know. I don't really know if you were slanging tax returns for free just to get the experience.
I've done a lot of free stuff for people that actually like, I'm like, oh, I want to work with you. Like, I like your industry you're in or something like that. Or I've done a lot of free things for people for sure.
Yeah. But trade work is highly underrated.
I've done definitely some trade work, like barter systems.
I love it.
So
the government doesn't have its hand in barter.
Well, it should, David.
Service for service, Brad.
Shout out the IRS.
Shout out to the IRS. Service for service is still taxable revenue. Oh. Next topic. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why I keep Brad around.
But yeah, like, you gotta learn. Like, I guess when you start out, I feel like definitely like doing something for free, hooking someone up, or a lot of times it'll come back. You get a good reputation, and then eventually you don't have to be doing stuff for free. You know what I mean? It's go above and beyond. Above and beyond for people, but eventually you'll just be able to start charging for everything. Yeah, for sure. So it's kind of like I don't know, like I'm like 5, like I'm going on my 6th year in business. You're on like what, 2 or 3, like full time?
A year and 4 months.
A year and 4 months. And then you started podcast 2 months ago. So it's crazy.
Like 60 days.
Yeah. So like
yeah.
It's really interesting because like it's almost like every company is like the same peaks and valleys, the same thoughts, like because every time like I hear you talk about business or hearing you talk about like the podcast and everything, graphic designing, like it's kind of funny because I like it's exactly how my company was around that same time frame too. You know what I mean? The industry to industry, it's like
growing
so similar.
Yeah, totally. I mean, the only thing I would say about you that you really have an angle on that me and Brad really don't have an angle on outside of the podcast is
strippers. No, I was kidding.
For sure.
Well,
NFTs.
Never mind. Yeah, NFTs. But that's coming soon. But would be you don't really have slow seasons. Like, is there a slow season for podcasting? I mean, you don't know yet, but I really don't think that there is a slow season. He has a downside, you know, on the back end of tax season. I'm entering my slow season, which would be January, February, March. Like that's like a slow quarter, you know. And everybody wants spring pictures. Nobody really wants snow pictures when there's no snow. You know what I mean? It's just cold. It's uncomfortable. It's windy. You know, so there you do things to offset your slow season. You know, like Brad reinvested back into himself. You know, he's going through some classes to get his EA and like really reinvesting and like making things easier now in the slow time. So when it is crazy, the systems are already set in place, such as hiring employees and all that good stuff. But like, I feel like podcasting, you are going to be go all the time, which is nice.
I feel like, yeah, I agree. People just always want to sit around and talk shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, and sometimes people just want to hear a certain person sit around the table, you know, and like I said, we're starting out, but I'm finding the perfect brew of people to sit around that exact table, you know, like, you know, you really need a female's perspective in a podcast
for a lot of things.
Yeah. You know, like there's not a good conversation without a woman in the room, because a woman will tell you shit that your boys won't tell you. And that's just in any situation, podcast or in real life.
Yeah. I could see that for sure.
Yeah. So like,
that's kind of the point of like having a diverse group like on the Street Champ show. You know what I mean? It is cool because you guys will, on the show, you'll have 4 people. It's like 4 totally different perspectives.
Totally.
It's like man, woman, like child. Yeah, have children on there.
And
like
cat.
And cat. Like you get like, you know, more diversity, the better, honestly.
Yeah.
You get so much, and that's what's interesting too.
Diversity
you get to
pushes
learn
growth for sure.
Yeah,
you know, different perspective, life occurrences, and like you can really push people. You know, and like you said, make jumps, and like you have been for sure.
Yeah, and like this podcast, like I always sit around and talk with all my friends like about business all the time. So I was like,
Just put a camera in.
What's the difference? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
add a couple mics and some cameras, and
yeah,
you have
to me it's
for
fun.
Everybody too.
Yeah, like I have so much fun shooting podcasts.
The thing is, people get so shitted when you once you turn on the lights and the camera. A good personality.
Tension.
Yeah, a good personality turns into a turtle, bro.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know. I can't talk about that.
Yeah,
you're like, talk about that. We just talked about. You know, I get it for some things for sure. But yeah, it's just an inviting space, having organic conversation, and like kind of where the conversation's gonna go.
Yeah, totally. And it's like being open to conversation. There's, like you got 2 ears. People always say it's like fucking you got 2 ears and a mouth for a reason. Like, yo, listen. The best interviewers shut the fuck up and listen. Like Katie Couric, Dr. Phil, fucking, I don't even know who else. Steve Wilkos. Like, they're fucking billionaires for a reason because they shut the fuck up and just listen.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
He shuts up.
Exactly. Like you invited these people for a reason. Just let them get their shit off, and
let them tell their story.
Yeah, like this is their little 15 minutes, and you need to accept it. And it's not. They're gonna get you the views. It's not about you. It's about them.
Oh yeah, especially for like street champs. You know what I mean?
It's definitely.
It's always like, it's an interview, like street champs interview. Like,
if you went into a job interview and the interviewer just talked about themselves, that would be super weird. Yeah. You would leave that interview like, I don't know how that went.
And what's crazy is like Joe Rogan, like obviously he's like, I feel like he's probably the biggest podcaster, right? In the world.
Yeah, I would say so.
After Call Her Daddy, maybe.
Yeah.
The Call Her Daddy podcast.
Are they pretty popular? Yeah. Like Joe Rogan, like you watch like his very, very first ones, like there's like this setup is like 10 times the quality of the Joe Rogan experience in the first like year, it was around. So it's kind of crazy, like the leaps and bounds. And it also goes to show you, like, it doesn't really matter where you start. You just need to start doing it because
we all build off of each other.
Of course,
like,
especially with creation.
I would be so fucking full of cat, bro, if I did not say I got all of my swag from No Jumper. Like, No Jumper.
Just raw interviews.
Yeah, No Jumper is the fucking GOAT when it comes to interviews, bro.
Yeah, Adam 22 is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I pray to God that one day fucking we'll be on No Jumper's radar, bro. Like, they'll interview a stripper with an OnlyFans, but then they'll interview a pimp, but then they'll interview a fucking A-list rapper, but then they'll interview like a fucking like a streetwear brand. Yeah, like a up and coming rapper. Like,
he used to be like the SoundCloud whisperer. Anybody he put on was gone. And then he does the live listenings, where it's like, all right, I think my shit's dope. Cool. Pay me $100. I'm going to put you on the platform. I'm going to give you that voice. We're going to live react to it. If you're dope, cool. But if you're not dope, they're going to tell you. I don't have to tell you.
Yeah.
They already know. But it's a really cool dynamic.
That's definitely where I got a big portion of my ideas from. Like, we're all learning from each other. And what do they say? Like a smart man learns from his own mistakes. A wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Like, yeah, I could watch a platform that has millions of views and millions of subscribers and learn how they grew and try to emulate where they started, where they have 4 million views. So I could, I don't have to start where they had one view.
Growing pains.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You got to move this computer.
Jiggle that mouse real quick.
Jiggly puff.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah.
But like, and that's the beauty of living in fucking 2021, bro. Like, you can make money for
it has never been cheaper to make content before. Yeah. It has never been more obtainable. Like with drone shots, like drone shots are overused because before you had the drones that were like readily available and actually like within a budget, you would have to get a permit, get a helicopter, and hang out the helicopter in order to get a drone-esque shot. Now you can, for $300, put a drone in the air without a license and fly and get 4K footage.
I didn't even know that, bro. I would just throw drones. I would just throw them shits in the air.
Yeah. Well, the camera?
You need a permit to throw a drone in the air?
For profit, yes.
You're supposed to.
Oh, yo.
I thought even
allegedly,
without
I would
it,
just
but
throw it in the air.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Best Buy used to sell like FAA like gift cards like with the drones. So like you buy a drone and you have to buy like an FAA like gift card to like get your license and stuff. Yeah.
And before you had to register them, now you don't have to. But
really?
Anyway,
what is FAA?
Federal
Aviation
Association.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is,
like,
but
to become a certified drone pilot, you have to go through like an unmanned it's like an unmanned pilot's license essentially, but you still have to know atmospheric pressure. You still have to know like barometer readings and how to read maps for some weird reason.
That's
to
crazy.
Fly a damn drone.
Because my sister can get a drone for like $20 on Wish.
That's what I'm saying. You can
It'll be like this big.
Yeah,
but bro.
Like, hey,
exactly. But the moment you start making money, people want to know like, okay, where's your license? Where's your license for it? You know, so that's why you don't see a lot of drone footage in my stuff. Is I think it's overused, and if it doesn't help tell my story, I don't want to put it in there. It's just it's a liability and a risk every time for me.
I truly was not aware of that, bro.
I'll see. Yeah.
Damn.
I just assume, there's random things that I just assume people know, but a lot of people don't know.
I feel like that with taxes so much. Sometimes I'm trying to make content. I'm like, who doesn't know that? Who doesn't know what your capital gains rates are? And I was like, oh wait, no one knows what your capital gains rates are.
There's a thing like with cameras and record limits. Most cameras have a 30-minute record limit because of the import tax. If a video camera is more expensive to import from out of country than a regular camera. So that's why most cameras have a 30-minute record limit, because that is under the threshold to be considered a video camera.
Wow, that's stupid.
It's so insane. But yeah, most people don't know that.
Huh. Yeah. All my shit, bro, is recorded on my iPhone.
I know, that's crazy.
Tripped me out. Like, I think as soon as I messaged you, like we could pull up the DMs, I was like, yo, dude, this looks and sounds good. What camera do you use? And you were like, just my iPhone. But I mean, there's good lighting involved with it too. Like, there's so much. iPhones are very capable. Like, I would never discount an iPhone. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's very, very capable.
That's what we were gonna shoot. We were gonna shoot this with the iPhone too.
Yeah, we actually set them both up to see which one we liked more.
Yeah.
And of course, I was gonna say a camera.
David was like, "Oh, I have this like extra camera.
I have this extra camera, and it doesn't have a record limit. But let me check that real quick to see if that statement is true."
Like I was talking, bring it back to No Jumper. Like some of their most iconic and timeless interviews are recorded on an iPhone. Like, it doesn't matter what you're recording on.
Yep.
If you're giving the right person the platform, the people will come to it no matter what.
Yep.
And sometimes the right people are the people that people are ignoring.
Mm-hmm.
Like the people with the face tattoos and the fucking, and they shake their ass and fucking whatever. Like those are the people that people need to hear from, because genuinely, most people don't relate to the people living the silver spoon lifestyle. Like they relate to the gritty,
of course,
like 9 to 5 working for your shit.
Because that's what like 95% of people do.
Yeah,
for the majority.
You either start there or you're there now or something. Like you have that taste in your mouth. Not a lot of people grow up like rich already. And the ones that do, I probably wouldn't want to listen to a podcast from like Damon James' son, unless there was a cool story behind it, like 70% of wealth is gone by the first generation and 90% is gone by the second generation. So if I die a multi-millionaire, 70% chance my son's going to burn it all, and a 90% chance my grandkids are going to burn it all. And then we're 2 generations in, and then that generation has no idea that we were millionaires now. They're back to that grind. They're back to that grittiness that you're talking about. You know what I mean? So
that's interesting.
There's a like, people always talk about like generational wealth, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a cycle of wealth, and it's always overturning. I don't know if it's going to be different because the levels of wealth of some of these families are just astronomically higher. But in the past, speaking, like 90% turnover after 2 generations. So your family tree is going to be in the gritty, and it's going to be, hopefully at some point in the, I don't know, the upper level, I guess, whatever you want to call it. But, the silver spoon, like you were saying. So a lot of people feel that like grittiness growing up at some point, for sure.
I feel like it is more relatable though, for sure. Because what are you going to tell somebody who his dad was a millionaire and he grew up with a butler and had a cook and had a chef, like what I would still want to talk to that person, because the way that they think is totally different. There's a book called The Power of Broke, and the way that they think, they tell you, don't think broke, think like somebody who has money and wealth, and it's just totally crazy to see how they think, like even now, like people who I know who run businesses that their parents ran businesses too, the way that they think is just totally different. And that's what I want to tap into. For example, like taking higher risks. Definitely, like there's one person that I'm for sure like close with. I won't drop any names, but his parents own businesses and he has his own business as well. And this dude will take the most insane, risky situations and just take those opportunities. If there's a glimpse of hope, he'll go for it. And I'm like, whoa, like I would never do that. Like I have bills to pay, mortgage, you know, like all this other stuff. Like I would never make that risk, you know, or make that jump. And just like super interesting things like that. You know, just the way that they are, like they'll go all in on something, and I'm just like, yeah. Like I feel like
a lot of times the risk is like in your head though too.
Oh yeah,
it's not even really there. Yeah. Like from the outside looking in, you might be like, oh, that's like crazy risky, but once you go and do it, like moving to my own office last year, I was like freaking out. Like this is such a big risk, and I was like, it wasn't a risk at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like. My expenses went down, my revenues went up. I got 5x the space that I had last year at this time. Like, where's the risk? There was no risk. But at the time, it took me 4 years to finally make that decision to move out into this bigger place. You know what I mean? So
something like that I would relate that to is like recently I've been getting into listening to professional gamblers tell their stories.
Interesting.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah, they'll speak about how playing there's different styles you could gamble. Like there's some people that just go balls to the wall all out, or like, you know, more reserved, and there's like anything in the middle. But you know, like losing everything and winning it back, like what it does to a person and their psyche, and like
that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like
to have it all and then to lose it all
and then gain it back.
Yeah.
And
that is a serious addiction.
It's not a business. Yeah. You're a gambler. Yeah. And just, I don't know.
It's super interesting. I've tapped into it a little bit.
Yeah. There's this guy named Mickey, and his story is like he grew up homeless. He won his fortune, professional baccarat player, and he's one of the 4 people that have been banned from baccarat. He cannot play baccarat.
That's insane.
Anywhere in the United States.
That's how you know you made it.
Yeah, because like he has a system that the casinos cannot figure out, but he wins like 99% of the time.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like honestly,
that's not fair.
Yeah.
Well, like, no, dude, you beat us. Like, you can't play anymore.
Yeah, we're used to beating everybody else.
No one would tell Amazon. No one's like, you know what, Amazon? You're a lot smarter than most other retailers. You just can't do this anymore.
You can't play anymore.
Yeah, that's cheating.
That's crazy. So I think we want a reoccurring question, you know, on our podcast to kind of sum it up, as far as like everything goes. So I think we're gonna go with what is your lasting legacy, and what do you want to leave behind for future generations? I know we've touched on it, but what do you want your lasting legacy to be with Deryk and Street Champs and anything you touch?
I mean, I think I want my lasting legacy to be like communication, friendship, love, respect, fucking understanding. I want it to be like a platform where you could hear anyone speak about any topic. There's no biases, no judgments, and I want it to be like multi-racial. Like, yeah, I'm a person of color, but it's not always gonna be me where you guys are sitting. You know, like in my head, there's girls where you guys are sitting. You know, there's like fucking trans people where you guys are sitting. You know, like shit like that. Like I don't want it just to be like the regular shit. I want it to be
push boundaries.
Yeah, push boundaries, but everyone everyone's accepting everyone, and just but everyone that's associated with it is making their own money. I don't want anyone feeling like Street Champs is greater than them. We're all Street Champs type shit.
No, of course.
We're all Street Champs. That's cool.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Well, hell yeah, man. Well, we loved having you on. We couldn't think of anybody else to have as a first guest for sure. Yeah, it was unanimous. We were like, who should we have? Deryk.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, it was
pretty simple choice.
It was it was unanimous between us. But yeah, man. Can you tell people where they can find you and the show and everybody's stories?
Yeah, it's like I say in the show. All right.
Yeah, give it to them. Give it to them.
All right, so guys, if you guys want to hear more about me or like the people I talk to, check us out on YouTube just type in Street Champs. We're like a big black logo with this guy in the back. If you want to see like the people I'm interviewing and more about them, follow us on Instagram. It's for now it's Deryk at DeryktheDesigner. It's my personal Instagram. I want to get people more invested in my story and the people that I'm bringing around the community. If you want to be my best friend ever, follow me on Snapchat. Derykator. All right, guys. I'll let it back to you guys.
Thanks for joining listening to Street Champs.
And all those links are obviously going to be below here. Yeah, so for sure, follow him because you never know what you're going to get when Street Champs posts something on YouTube. That's for sure.
It's awesome. Yeah. This has been the Lasting Legacy podcast. I want to thank you guys for joining in. All of our socials will be in the links below, personal and for other Lasting Legacy stuff. Peace.
Yeah.